Jackie Robinson said that a life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. One of my favorite parts of Facebook is seeing that someone I know is doing something uplifting or interesting or beneficial to others, living up to that Jackie Robinson statement. And one of my favorite parts of seeing someone doing something positive for the community is to extend to that person an invitation to speak here at Justice Southbury. So yesterday afternoon, I read a post from Kate Thomason Keeler, daughter of my former pastor and dear friend John Thomason. Kate posted about embracing our neighbors and strengthening our communities through art. And as you know, art advocacy, sometimes called artivism, is a theme we've been dealing with recently here. So please welcome to Justice Southbury, Kate Keeler.
Woo! I'm a teacher, so I've got everybody packed.
Kate, off camera, just said, I'm a teacher, so she's giving handouts to everybody. For those of you watching at home, you usually get most of the experience of being here at the rallies, with the exception of the wind. But maybe we can find a way to post this on our Facebook page so that you're able to see it later. All right, Kate. Right in that mic.
Right in the mic.
Right in the mic. Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Kate Thomason Keeler, and I'm an artist. I do acrylic paintings. I'm also a special education teacher, and I work with students with severely impacted autism. And I've been a teacher for 22 years, and I would say that 99 point something of my students have been immigrants or second generation immigrants. So most of my teaching career has been giving multiple levels of support, both academically and in terms of helping families apply for assistance for the rest of their lives. That's a huge part of what I'm doing. Last week, one of my students had to leave school and go to the Peruvian embassy in Hartford, and there have been waves in my career when immigration policy has had tremendous impact on my students, and whether or not they can live with both of their parents, and whether or not their parents feel comfortable enough to contact us as educators and come up to the school. And this is one of those times. My quote yesterday on Facebook, I think, summed up a lot. And I said, we are in a moment of time when violence is often justified by God and faith. So I made a painting, 70 times 7, where I found 70 Bible scriptures from Genesis to Revelation that instruct humans to care for the immigrant, the foreigner. I'm sure there are many more examples throughout the Bible. This didn't take me long. I immediately found 70. Let us not be seduced by the rage. Let us embrace our neighbors and strengthen our communities. I brought the painting today, and you're welcome to come and look up at it. Right here is the Instagram QR code where you can see the making of this painting. It's also based on photographs of the border wall that has been, constructed on the border of Mexico and Texas. My father and I have strong roots in Texas, so we've seen the history unfold in that area as well. And just the video itself has a lot of moments in our national history where ICE has impacted the lives of families. To me, one of the most heartbreaking issue is the separation of families. And when I looked this up last week, I think in 2026 there have been 76,000 people detained in these prisons in our country, and that has an everyday impact. In my life, immigrants are an integral part of my everyday life. From where I buy food, to where I work in restaurants, and to my classroom, all over my school. And so it's something that I'm extremely passionate about. So if you look, they're in chronological order. And I do come from a religious background. My father is a minister, but I want this to be an action of inclusion of all faiths. This isn't about proselytizing my own personal faith. It's about showing that this faith is one of inclusion. Yeah. And it's being misrepresented at the cost of people's lives, both here and abroad. And to explain, for those of you who don't know the reference, the title is 70 times 7. And that was almost, I went to my dad's house the first time I started working on this painting, and I happened to count. I was like, oh my gosh, there's 70 here. And I went through Genesis to Revelation across the Bible, and there's a quote in Matthew 18:21-22, and Jesus tells Peter to forgive others not just 7 times, and the number 7 in ancient cultures means completion, being whole, and the point is 70 times 7. This phrase is not a literal mathematical limit, but a metaphor for boundless, unlimited forgiveness, emphasizing that Christians should not keep score of offenses, which is being done politically today. Now, if you would like to, you can turn the page. And I want to share another painting that I did right before doing this painting. And it's currently on display at the Granite Church in Georgetown. The Granite Church is not a church anymore. It is the church founded by the owner of Gilbert Wire Mill Factory. And it's a community space, unbelievable music. I'm talking astounding music. It's becoming a hotbed for bluegrass. If you're interested, oh my gosh. There was a step dance event last night. My 10-year-old was out there. Anyway, I'm so lucky they have my artwork displayed in the Granite Church. And right before I had to display, I wanted to finish this painting. And it's called Immigrants, Purple Loose Leaf and Mile a Minute. These are invasive plants that benefit the Connecticut forest. There's all this narrative about the dangers of immigration. But my life has been so benefited from the presence of immigrants in my life, and this is a painting about that. It's a woman in like a Connecticut forest. She's surrounded by birch trees, but also Mile a Minute and purple loose leaf. And it just shows that we live in a world that naturally intertangles and interweaves, and like we are symbiotic. We are all symbiotic, both internally in our bodies and all over our communities. So again, you can use your phone and see the making of this painting, which also it supports the idea that diversity is beautiful. Diversity strengthens us. And finally, I did not want to put this on the first page because I wanted positivity and beauty to be on the first page, but I just wanted to really quote what we're up against. This week, Pete Hegseth said horrifying things in the name of God and faith. This is what he said: "Let every round find its mark against the enemies of righteousness in our great nation," Hegseth said in a prayer service. "Give them wisdom in every decision, endurance for the trial ahead, unbreakable unity, and overwhelming violence of action against those who deserve no mercy." The remarks came a day after Hegseth announced changes in the military's chaplain corps, which he said in a video message had been infected by political correctness and secular humanism until they were watered down to be nothing more than therapists who focused more on self-help and self-care than faith or virtue. But to me, the faith is about inclusion and the faith is about love. So what I wanted to do is, as he was reading so many Bible verses in this speech that were embracing violence and encouraging violence, and not just encouraging, they're going out and actually following through on this. So I gave you the 70 Bible quotes And I want this to be part of our public conversation, and not, this conversation of violence in the name of God and faith. So thank you. Woo!